Morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody today? Michael Kahn, how are you, mate? Jerry Snoke, hope everyone's happy and healthy. Still just setting up for the live stream. Been a bit slack at the moment. Apologies, guys. Thanks for sticking through yesterday's debacle. Hey, Michael, one of my awesome patrons. Hope you're doing well, mate. Gonna be a good show today. Hopefully I won't lose my live stream. That was entirely my fault. No one to blame but myself. Trying to feel around. Hey, Bree. Anyone catch that great discussion with Bev, Tribe Thinking and Quantum Eraser this morning? Well, this morning for me. About half an hour ago for everyone else. Quite interesting. Bev not backing down on, on some sort of a point, whatever his point is. Still, Arwen says QE is still live. Yeah, it was the Yowie, wasn't it, Michael Kahn? Effed up world, hello, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. PJ Cookshank, good evening, how mate? Talking about, Arwen says that Bev is talking about Bob's claim that sextants don't use trigonometry. Is that what it's about, Owen? Bev is even further gone than I thought. That's what do you mean? Sextants don't use trigonometry. Whatever. Some people you just, I don't know. Yeah, Bob the Science Guy. Bev claiming that same thing now. That sextants do not use trigonometry. Is that what Bev's saying? I don't know how anyone can say that, especially on the flat Earth side. Is Bev on the flat Earth side? I don't know. I don't really follow Bev. I know this whole conversation with QE and Bev was coming for a long time, but I didn't know what it was going to kind of be about. That's anyway. Can't educate pork. Were you not well recently? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Sorry, just cleaning the lens. It was a bit dirty. Gonna be a good show today. I think I might shout out my patrons first because I haven't shouted them out for a couple of days. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being a patron. I think I've got 16 still. My awesome patrons. Arwen says he drank too much. And drank it, ate too much last night. Is that alcohol, Arwen? I didn't think you drank. Just good food, good drink. Alright, shout out to my awesome patrons. Dale Bourne, John Furr, Dusty Ryder, Chris, Tristan Trickers, Will Brax, Ronald Jurek, BMLSB69, John Swartz, Brian Leakey, Alec One Show, Michael Kahn. Hey Michael, you in the chat there? Hey, how are you, mate? Malcolm Foster, Angie S, Dawn Judds, and I've also got a couple on YouTube, Coriolis Effect, and oh man, I didn't write that down. I'm really, oh, here we go, I got it. Mike Ruffin, Coriolis Effect Flat, and Mike Ruffin, 2 members on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Love the support. It really inspires me to do better, knowing that people are paying to see me do these kinds of things. All right, I'm going to attempt to put the camera on the tripod again. This is what got me yesterday. All right, there we go. Safely on the tripod. All right, and today I'm not going to touch it. It's not windy. No reason I've got to touch it. All right. Yesterday we were talking about why are they being your high priest of flat earth, of flat earth, high priests of the globe. Why are they, the high priests of the globe, lying to you globers? I detailed that. Has anybody live stream started for? Has the live stream? What do you mean, Jerry Snake? Am I not coming through for you, Jerry Snake? Maybe you have to refresh. Someone tell Jerry Snake to refresh. So yesterday I was asking a question to the globe believers. Why are they, the high priests of the globe, lying to you, globe believers? Why are they lying? They're not lying to us, because we get, as flat earthers, we get asked constantly, why would they be lying to us? What is the reason behind it? Because if you try to go into that paradigm of why people are lying to you, it's just going to be someone's opinion. That's what they want to get into. They want to get away from the facts about flat earth. They want to get into people's opinion and rip that apart, because they can't. The globers and any flat earthers, they cannot address the flat earth points, the flat earth arguments, the flat earth proofs, because we have many proofs. I've shown some here in flat earth school. One of the best proof, I believe, is the sextant, which I was a bit taken back when Arwen just said that the Bev Try Thinking channel was agreeing with Bob, the science guy, if you want to call him Bob the science guy, Bob the fallacy guy. That's what he's affectionately known as in other circles. He was agreeing with Bob that sextants don't use trigonometry. I don't understand that sentiment. Sextants don't use trigonometry. That's exactly how the premise of using a sextant. You must triangulate your position on the earth to know where you are. That's how sextants work. We measure angles to celestial bodies. We can even measure angles to things here on the ground, attached to earth, like lighthouses, like mountains, things that we know the distance to. We can measure things to that. And then we can triangulate our position with trigonometry. I'm not sure if Bev says that because obviously we can't use that trigonometry to assert heights of the celestial bodies. I'm not sure if that's his argument. I don't know. I didn't really hear his argument too well, but I'm just saying that sextants don't use. You don't use trigonometry sextants. I don't understand. But anyway, I think it's not the nicest foreground here. I was trying to get the mountain more. I was trying to get that mountain in, but it's coming across pretty granular. At risk of losing the live stream, I am going to move. I'm going to move the tripod. I might go over here. See if it's any better over here. This is a bit of a better view, and it kind of makes my point a bit better, because I want to be talking about things that we're saying there. Some mountains. Yeah, we're going to be talking about how the globe Earth came to be, I guess, if you want to say kind of came to be. It's perpetuated, and it is through the high priest, like Neil deGrasse Tyson, perpetuating things that you can only have faith in. That's the only way that you're going to
believe that you're living on a globe. You have to have faith. If you don't have faith, you won't believe in the globe because there's no evidence. There's nothing in front of your face to say where we are living. Absolutely nothing. There is no evidence. Even David Weiss, he is offering 3 Bitcoins. Hey, Guns of Navarine, PI. How are you, mate? David Weiss, DITORH, is offering 3 Bitcoin to anyone that can provide $1,000 at the moment. That's US. Equivalent to probably 2 million Australian. Our dollar isn't the best here. So smash the super chat because your dollar means a lot more to me. I really appreciate it. Please smash the super chat. Please sign up for my Patreon. You guys are awesome. Or just tune in because I enjoy the chat. I enjoy people being here. I enjoy the questions. And I get a lot of questions. I do my best to answer them, but unlike the global religion who wants answers to every single question. What's Bitcoin worth in old money? What's old money, Bree? Unlike the globe wants answers to everything. And I've even got I've got a quote from one of the high priests, Neil deGrasse Tyson here. There's no shame in admitting what you don't know. The only shame is pretending you know all the answers. And that's from the high priest of globe religion, Neil deGrasse Tyson. There's no shame in admitting what you don't know. And that's exactly what I, for one, do. A lot of flat earthers do, because we don't know what the sun is. We don't know what the moon is. We don't know what the stars are. We don't know how they work. And we get asked constantly, how is it that the sun and the moon are rotating around your flat earth? Yeah, apparently we can measure distances to them and they're close and like, no, that's a straw man. That's not something that I personally claim. Some other flat earthers may claim that, but it is absolute straw man. I don't claim that the sun, moon, stars are physical things. They're not magically rotating as in the globe sense, because they still want to apply gravity to the flat earth, because they haven't had an honest look at flat earth and how flat earth works. And you have to detach yourself from the globe paradigm. Some of the questions, hey Liz Baker. Hey, Liz says she's still trying for that Bribby black swan. Liz is going out and doing some observations. She's doing a great job. I'll definitely show your footage, Liz, if you do manage to get a black swan. It's something that I've been after for since the black swan came out about 21 months ago. I've only just found mine, so good luck. I really hope you find a location where you can see a black swan. It's just about going out as much as you can to the location where you know you can not see too far, but you'll see the horizon in the distance beyond something, beyond a landmark. I encourage everyone to try and get their own black swan, because before I got mine, which I titled the Australian Black Swan, I'm sure there's others that I just haven't heard of. Please email me, mitchellfromaustralia@gmail.com, if you have black swan footage that hasn't been featured. I'll definitely feature it and put your name to it, like Liz Baker is trying to do. Oh, and is that other stream still going with QE and Bev? It seemed pretty heated. Anyway, stay here, everyone. There's no other streams going on. This is where it's all happening. Oh, I want to play a bit of a clip for Neil deGrasse Tyson, because we, as flat earthers, we get told, oh, what are you flat earthers going to concede that the Earth's a globe when people like Richard Branson are taking people up to space and we see the globe? Are we going to concede that it is a globe? Are we going to concede that flat Earth is just fake? Is it all over? Let me play a clip from one of the high priests, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No. I'm sorry.
I think we missed the first bit.
Is this space travel?
Is this space travel? Richard Branson, is this space travel?
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, so first of all, it's suborbital.
Right.
It's suborbital, and NASA did that 60 years ago with Alan Shepard. Okay, launched from Cape Canaveral and landed in the ocean. And if you don't go fast enough to reach orbit, you will fall out and you'll land back on Earth.
We should point out neither Bezos nor Branson will be placed into orbit.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. So there's, did you go high enough? Then did you get into orbit? That's another kind of, I kind of like that one. And another one is, did you actually go somewhere? Did you go into the moon or Mars or beyond? So SpaceX's concept is, we want to send people places, all right, as an effort to push this boundary. But push this space exploration frontier. Now, all that being said, I'm delighted that this could be a new tourist attraction in the world. I have no problems or hesitation celebrating this fact. And it should have been happening decades ago. Decades ago. It should have been 60 years before private enterprise ended up doing what NASA did back in 1961. So more power to all of them.
But is there a gain in knowledge that comes from you boldly going to where man has gone many times before?
Yeah, boldly going where hundreds have gone before. I mean, can I invoke this here? Okay, I just found this laying around on the desk.
Invoking a globe there.
We're GPS.
Your GPS, good. So this is a typical schoolroom globe, okay? And you want to ask, oh, by the way, how high up does the space station orbit? The space station, authentically a spacefaring vessel. If Earth were this size, it would be 1 centimeter above the surface.
Wow.
If you poll people and say, where do you think the space station is? They'll stick it out here somewhere. It is 1 centimeter, okay? Now you're gonna ask, what happens if you, where is this magic boundary where you start seeing? Well, that would be 2 millimeters above the surface.
The magic boundary?
And now you're gonna be sort of less than that. And so it's, the thickness of maybe 2 dimes above the surface. And so...
He's talking about space travel here, the tourism space travel. I don't think Richard Branson actually claims he's taken people to space. I think that's the media. And that's Globers jumping on that saying, flat earthers, what happens when Richard Branson takes people to space and they see the curvature and they see the globe? Well, you've got your High Priest, Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's getting to the point, Arwen. Ready? This is where Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking about Richard Branson's little space tourism.
Okay, you want to call it space because regular people haven't done that before, so there's a novelty to it. Oh, and by the way, just for context, I got this apple here. This is a slightly smaller than the size of the moon. So you might ask, well, where's the moon on this scale? The moon is 10 meters away in the next room.
Wow.
So that's why it takes 8 minutes to get to orbit and 3 days to get to the moon. That's actual space travel, okay? So just for context. So I see it not as, oh, we're going into space. No, you're getting a nice view of the Earth, and I don't even know if you're gonna see the curvature. I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not.
That's the kicker right there. Ready?
I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking about Richard Branson's space travel, and he's questioning whether you're going to see the curvature. Ready?
Well, you're getting a nice view of the Earth, and I don't even know if you're going to see the curvature. I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, famous for doing calculations like the Coriolis effect calculations, but Richard Branson said he did some calculations about... Neil deGrasse Tyson said he did some calculations about Richard Branson's space travel. Will you see the curvature? I'm thinking they won't. After doing calculations. So even at so how high did they go? Like 56 miles up? Yeah? And people like Mr. Sensible are claiming he saw curvature from, 30 kilometers up? Which is maybe 20 miles? Yeah, you've got your high priest, Neil deGrasse Tyson, just detailing after he's done some calculations like he famously does. Does some calculations, are you going to see the curvature of the Earth from Richard Branson's space tourism, 50-something miles up? No. Neil deGrasse Tyson, your high priest, It's just, I want to play it again. Ready? Play it again. Straight from the horse's mouth.
I see it not as, oh, we're going into space. No, you're getting a nice view of the Earth.
Nope, not going to
And I don't
space.
even know if you're going to see the curvature. I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Your high priest, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Why are they lying to you, Globers? Why are you being lied to that you can go to space? Neil deGrasse Tyson just detailing there, you will not be going to space. You will not be seeing the curvature of the Earth. So if you can't even see, this is the best it's going to get for civilians. Let's face it, this is the best it's going to get for civilians for space travel. Richard Branson going to maybe 56 miles above the Earth. For any normal person, well, not really, because you have to have a shitload of money. This is the best it's going to get for someone who wants to see the curvature of the Earth. If we can't see the curvature of the Earth, says Neil deGrasse Tyson, High Priest of the globe, from 56 miles up, where are we ever going to see the curvature of the Earth? Just let that sink in. If you can't see it from Richard Branson's space tourism 50-something miles up, this is the curvature of the Earth. Where are you ever going to see the curvature of the Earth? There is nowhere that you can see the curvature of the Earth from Earth. Yeah? Yeah, Del's Harco, how are you, mate? He says he's waiting for no one ever claimed you could see the curvature. Oh, it is just, it's glorious, isn't it? It's hilarious. But, all right, let's put that into perspective, because we've got some other high priests. So Neil deGrasse Tyson, I put him as the face of the Pope here, because, yeah, he's probably one of the most famous globe proponents, the anti-flat earthers, if you will. Yeah, he's in the flat earth argument. He's done that little rap battle with B.O.B. He goes to people's places like Katy Perry, who says, is the Earth flat? And then he's at her place the next day. Yeah, he's definitely in the flat Earth argument. And then we've got places like Nat Geo, National Geographic, putting videos up like this, saying that they've seen the curvature of the Earth from the bottom of the Earth.
A few years back, the Discovery Channel had a program where they used lasers and telescopes to show that the surface of a large lake was curved due to the curvature of the Earth.
Let me know when you can see us on spots of the horizon. All right, Brian, how many feet are we above the lake?
24 feet.
The Flat Earth proponents responded to this program with a series of videos on YouTube.
I'm going to go with CGI on that whole helicopter thing, because people would say, oh, look, well, what do you mean it's CGI? You saw the helicopter? Yeah, I also seen giant robots fighting in downtown Chicago. That doesn't make it real.
All of which supposedly show errors made by the people behind the Discovery Channel program. What drives this sort of stubborn refusal to deal with reality? Part of the problem is that even the simplest demonstrations, like Wallace's or the Discovery Channels, require careful preparation and specialized equipment. Not everybody has access to a helicopter and a telescope to do these sorts of tests. That's often a complaint that the Flat Earth people make. They need to personally experience the evidence, rather than trusting the measurements of other people.
So maybe... Maybe we need a helicopter and a laser to see the curvature of the Earth. Maybe we don't even need to go to, well, as Neil deGrasse Tyson just said, we're not going to see the curvature of the Earth from Richard Branson's space travel. Hey Nathan, how are you, mate? Yep, you're definitely going to need R to see the curvature, aren't you? But Neil deGrasse Tyson's just, as I just showed before, has detailed that we will definitely not see the curvature of the Earth from Richard Branson's space travel tourism. Not going to happen. But why are people like Nat Geo, and Discovery Channel showing things like this? I'm gonna show people what the deception is here. Why are they showing things like this?
Yeah, like we need a helicopter to measure the supposed curvature. But I do think it's awesome that D. Marble got it absolutely right. But we'll get back to that. It's also funny that that's the same D. Marble who proved with a laser that there was absolutely no curvature at a distance of 10 miles, much further than the Discovery Channel's bogus helicopter claim. But what makes the PBS video, and to be clear, it wasn't the Discovery Channel, but PBS's series called Genius, but what makes the PBS video so rotten is that this helicopter event was entirely fabricated, and it's provable. I made a video on it a while back. Remember, PBS claimed that the helicopter descended behind the curvature and then came up from behind the curvature of the Earth back into view of the telescope. But as you will see, when the helicopter descends, there's a group of birds with a peculiar flight pattern. And then when the helicopter subsequently ascends, the same birds appear and in the same exact flight pattern. Not only that, the waves match as well. Only the image of the helicopter changes, meaning that the helicopter video was added.
As it lands, I got him. I got him. As it lands,
Exact same bird pattern. Why are they faking curvature? Amazing stuff here. This is from Taboo Conspiracy channel. Everyone subscribe to Taboo Conspiracy. Awesome channel, awesome guy.
Without question, PBS lied and faked the curvature. And this isn't some simple mistake. This was intentional, as it took serious effort to add a fake image of a helicopter supposedly hiding behind the curvature of the Earth. Why would PBS lie about the curvature? So, to the individual who emailed me that link, send your brother the proof that PBS lied to him and is still used by globe propagandists as proof of the curvature. But here's another big lie about the curvature, this time by National Geographic. Here's a clip from an old video I made on the subject.
But sure enough, as the boat reaches the horizon, the stripes begin to disappear one by one.
It's pretty amazing. You can actually see it pretty clearly with this camera here. And you see that the red stripe that was at the bottom has completely disappeared, and it's now getting closer to sort of the middle green stripe, that is.
So we've lost about 1.5 stripes.
We've lost 1.5 stripes, but we see the horizon far in the background there.
So this can only happen, why?
Because of the curvature of the Earth.
Ah, because of the curvature of the Earth. Taboo Conspiracy does a great debunk of this. There's the horizon, past, way beyond, past that level. So the guy's saying that this here, that's the curvature of the Earth, cutting out the bottom of it, but we still see the horizon far in the distance. Yeah? Why are they lying to us? Why are they lying to you, globe believers? We've got optical slant concealment, yep. So we've got Nat Geo claiming this is Earth curvature. Discovery Channel claiming this is Earth curvature. And then we had Neil deGrasse Tyson, high priest of the globe religion, talking about Richard Branson's space travel. See if we can get it back again. Detailing that we're not even...
National boundaries disappear. It's an overview effect that you will get a little bit of even at 50 miles up. So more power, 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe, you're not getting the whole this perspective that everybody hopes. But national boundaries disappear.
Apologies, I'll try and find it again.
For context. So I see it not as, oh, we're going into space. No, you're getting a nice view of the Earth. And I don't even know if you're going to see the curvature. I did some calculations, and I'm thinking they're not.
There you are. High Priest Neil deGrasse Tyson says, no, you will not see the curvature of the Earth. Why are they lying to you, Globers? Doesn't matter who's lying. It just matters that, yeah, somebody is lying. There is disarray in your camp. You haven't got your story straight. You've got one High Priest, Neil deGrasse Tyson, saying you will never see the curvature of the Earth even from Richard Branson's space travel. That's what he was talking about just there. Gary Feltham, how are you, mate? Schumann TV, how are you? Hey, Schumann TV, I can't email you back for some reason. I think it says your email inbox is full. Maybe delete some emails and I can email you back. Thanks for that awesome footage of the Mexican earthquake lights. That was pretty cool. So we've got Neil deGrasse Tyson detailing, we're never going to see the curvature of the Earth, no matter where we are. Even from 50-something miles up, not going to see it. And then you've got people like we saw Nat Geo, Discovery Channel, saying they can see it from ground level somehow. Amazing, amazing contradictory stuff. And the reason why I wanted to be here today is these mountains here. And I've got a good clip of how Alberuni, because let's face it, Alberuni is given a big pat on the back for measuring the curvature of the Earth. That's what he's gifted with. He's just trying to find the video here. Hey from England. Gary Feltman says hey from England. Schumann TV, he's going to go and check his emails. Alright, so. And I found out why Alberuni was trying to do that measurement of the radius of the Earth. It was because I got this. So around 830 AD, in order to determine the direction for Muslims to pray to Mecca, they commissioned a group of astronomers and geographers to calculate the distance from any given point on Earth to Mecca. Okay, that's the reason for Alberuni wanting to endeavour on that journey that he went on to measure the radius of the Earth. Okay, so Alberuni, he used a new method to compute the Earth's circumference. Compute, so it's a bit of a calculation, not an actual measurement. He's given that the value of 6,339 kilometers, 16.8 kilometers less than the modern value. Yeah, so he did pretty well, did he? Okay. So we'll fast forward. From the top of a mountain, Alberuni sighted the angle to the horizon, which along with the mountain's height, which he calculated beforehand. That's the kicker. How did he calculate the angle to the mountain? Something like that. Something like this mountain. He had to be over here first to calculate it, and this video goes through it. He calculated the mountain's height beforehand, which allowed him to calculate the curvature of the Earth. He also made use of algebra to formulate trigonometric equations and used the astrolabe to measure angles. So you absolutely do have to use trigonometry there with things like astrolabes and sextants, yeah? All right, let's continue. So what did he, using an astrolabe, this is what happened. I'll turn the music down because we don't need the music. This is how Alberuni measured the curvature of the Earth. First, he went to, this is how you use a astrolabe to measure something like a tree there. And then he goes to the mountain. I'll fast forward a little bit. So this is what he's doing, okay? This is what Alberuni did. He had to first measure the height of a mountain. So he goes out a distance from the mountain and he measures an angle to the top of the mountain, yeah? Alberuni, this is what he did. Did some clever maths. He knew the distance that he was walking towards the mountain, and then he did another measurement. Measure another angle to the top of the mountain. And all the while, can we see where he's doing it from? This line here, the flat plane of the Earth. You have to first, hey Will Brax, another one of my awesome patrons, he had to first assume that he was on a flat plane, flat level plane. That's the only way he's going to, yeah, exactly, Delta Echo. Why is he not using curved line? Shouldn't this one be curved here? Because he's trying to measure curvature of the Earth, but no, he had to use a flat level plane to measure the top of the mountain. Yeah, that's just what you have to do with trigonometry. You need 3 straight lines to use trigonometry. Yeah. And then what happens? Where's the magic? How does it get translated into an Earth curvature measurement? Fast forward a little bit here. So we've got that, and then look at this. So nice flat plane where he's measuring the top of the mountain, and then you have to put in the presupposition. So it's gone from this nice flat measurement here, and then when he gets to the top of the mountain, now he's looking somewhere else for some reason. He's looking on a globe. So it's gone from a nice flat plane to looking on a globe. And then he derives a measurement of a dip angle from the top of that mountain, which he had to first assert was on a flat level plane to get the height of the mountain, goes up the mountain, and then he thinks he's on a globe. This is a deception right here. This is where the deception lies. In order to get the height of the mountain, something like a mountain out there, you have to assume that it's a flat level plane you're looking out over. You have to. There is no other way that you can get a height of a mountain without assuming you're on a flat level plane. And then he goes to the top of the mountain, uses a plumb bob, gets a 90-degree mark, makes something up called the astronomical horizon, and measures a dip angle down to the true horizon, which is the visible horizon. Now, obviously, yeah, you're definitely going to get a dip angle. Why are they lying to you, Globers? Why aren't they telling you he has to first use a flat level plane to measure the mountain? And then why does he change it to being on top of a globe here, looking down at the curvature of the Earth? This is the deception. They first have to get rid of the dirty little secret here that you're using a flat plane, and then they continue into their begging the question fallacy to assert that we're living on a globe. That's the only way that we're going to get any proof from the globe, is begging the question. It has not been proven in the first place. Al-Biruni didn't go and prove that we're living on a globe first. He assumed that we're living on a globe, but first he had to assume that we're living on a flat plane right here. That's how he got the height of the mountain, and this is how he got the curvature of the Earth, assuming after he had to treat everything as flat and level, he's now treating it not as flat and level. He's treating it as if there was a curve looking at the top of the mountain, from the top of the mountain to the horizon. No, it's deception, pure deception. Why are they lying to you, globe believers? Why would they do that? What is the purpose? We get asked as flat earthers, why would they lie to us about the Earth being flat or round? We get asked that, and we get expected to answer questions like that. Those sort of questions should not be directed at us. We don't care if they're lying or not. We know it's definitely not a globe. We know it's flat. It's been measured using the sextant, and we definitely do need trigonometry. For those who say we don't need trigonometry with the sextant, I don't know what. You can be on your own planet. You can assume that you're on a planet somewhere. Was Michael Khan asked, was Biruni even real? Don't know. Would not have a clue. Long time ago. I think it said like 1000 AD or something. So over 1,000 years ago, Al-Biruni apparently did these measurements. So over 1,000 years ago, he had to treat everything as a flat level plane and then assume there was a globe. I don't think that's true. I don't think that people thought that we were living on a globe that long ago. I really think that it was the opposite paradigm, so everyone knew and treated Earth as flat, because that's just how you had to treat everything as flat. And the globe was the crazy conspiracy people. They were the ones out having the debate saying, no, it's a globe, listen to me. Oh, how the tides have changed. When the media comes along, when you keep repeating the same message over and over and over, it only takes a couple of generations. When you repeat the same message over and over and over. Fusion Density, how are you, mate? Thanks for being here. Thanks everyone for joining me in this chat today. Jerry Snoke says, I know we don't have to come up with an answer as to why they're lying, but I think it's to hide God. And to set the stage for the endgame delusion alien invasion. Yeah, possibly. Atlas Rising says the 1950s where people started saying the Earth was a globe. Yep, possibly. Who knows? It only takes a couple of generations to brainwash an entire society with the aid of something like mass media, something like social media. Social media is you can see it today. It's the biggest brainwashing tool that has ever been employed on the human population. Social media, something that is at everyone's fingertips. We don't have to wait for the 6 o'clock news anymore. We've got it 24/7 at our fingertips. Social media. So if they want to employ something like a new paradigm like the globe, right now it's not going to take long. If they want to, say in 20 years, have a completely different paradigm, I think they can do that. Because they've got things like social media. Back in the 50s, they only just had the TV. I think the 1950s, that's when TV came out. And television, yeah, that was a massive brainwashing manipulation tool. But that required people to be sitting in one place. They required people to have the television in the first place. I know they've kind of made it cheaper, made it more desirable. But some people don't even have TVs anymore. I know in the UK you have to pay for a license to watch TV, the BBC license. Hey Mystical. Hey Ziema Jespalska. Yep, Earth is flat, definitely. Hope you guys are all happy and healthy. Maybe it is to hide God. Who knows? The creator. You know, the thing is, before I got into flat Earth, I wasn't religious. I didn't consider there being a God or a creator. But since getting into flat Earth, everything changed. You have to reassess not what you believe in, but what your world is. And you come to the ontological primitives where, when looking into the globe, they say that everything came from the Big Bang. Like an event that just, we had nothing and then they created everything out of it. So that's one ontological primitive, that we're just a random chance. That apparently we evolved out of fish and monkeys and all that stuff. Or, the other side of the coin, we were created. We have a purpose here. We were not random, definitely all special. We have purpose for being here. It's when you look at things like entropy, why do things move from hot to cold, from high pressure to low pressure? What is the mechanism? We have no clue. We can't put it through the scientific method. We don't have a cause for things like entropy. Yeah, it is things like the ontological primitives that make you really put you in a position where you have to really be honest with yourself. Where are we? How do we come about? Arwen says, the ball is the imperial control system, a symbol of mind control power. That's why all emperors have painting made where they are portraying holding a globe. Yeah, good point, Arwen. And that's why I put Neil deGrasse Tyson on my thumbnail today, holding a globe. He is one of the high priests. He holds up that globe. He's one of those emperors. Even though he gets the dirty little secret out early, saying from Richard Branson's space tourism exploration. Well, it's not exploring, it's just space tourism. You're going up and down. Even from 50-something miles up, you're not going to see the curvature of the Earth. But then he goes on to say that, yeah, we're definitely a globe. You're definitely living on a globe. It's curved surface beneath your feet. Yeah, fusion density says, funny how those same clouds are just staying put. That is a great point, fusion density. Those clouds out here, it's been cloudy for a few days. How do we have cloud in the first instance? How do we have gas? How do we have water vapor up there condensing? Why doesn't it just keep going? When things evaporate from the surface, because let's face it, everything that goes down has started from down. There's nothing being produced. There's no magical gas factories in the sky. There's no magical water factories in the sky where water is starting from to fall down. So when people assert that things are falling down, look around us. Look around me here. I'm seeing a massive expanse of Earth here. What's going down? Is anything going down? If anything, things are going up. That's what we can experience here. Those clouds, they have started from down. They've started from rivers, lakes, oceans, evaporation, going up. And that is acceleration. Gas definitely accelerates up. Clouds in the sky, what happens to gravity with a B? Says Delta Echo. Exactly. What happens to gravity? I wonder, can you weigh a cloud? Clouds weigh millions of tons but don't fall down. Well, eventually, obviously the cloud doesn't fall down. But the rain in the cloud does when it condenses and it turns back into rain. The water cycle. Yeah, these are just things that we can observe. Things are definitely going up. There's no downward bias. There's no gravity. There's no force. Forcing things down. No, things like gas can freely expand in all directions. And like Delta Echo said, or Fusion, sorry, said, why are the clouds still there? When things evaporate, why don't they just keep going into the vacuum of space like we're told? We're told we're in an open system by the heliocentric priests like Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's an open system. We've done space travel. No. Space is fake. If space were real, that vacuum, space, they literally say it's space. The gas that we breathe would expand into the space it's given, into the volume it's given. Yeah, clouds turn back into droplets up there because the temperature, and kept up there by heat rising, clouds are constantly transmuting water. Thanks, Owen. Yep. It's an amazing world that we live in. That's why I try to get out here and I try to show everyone things like this. Just the simple fact that we have clouds, like Fusion said before, debunks the notion that we have space, ever expanding vacuum, violating all natural gas laws. And they're only natural gas laws because they happen always and never not happen. When we ask anti-flat earthers and globe believers to show us gas pressure existing without a container, they come back usually with 2 containers, like Blue Marble Science did, put a pipe along the side of his house, got a butane container, had to bring that gas pressure to the party in a container. We want that butane without the container. Why can't you just pick it up from the ground and just carry it somewhere? A wheelbarrow of gas? Nope. Nathan says, gas does not go down, go boom boom like bouncy balls in a fish tank. No, definitely doesn't. For gas to go down, it has to have a phase change, and that's not gas anymore. That's liquid. We don't deny that liquid water goes down from those clouds up there, condenses, as Arwen said, the temperature drops. Heavy gas go down, go boom boom, says Musicians for Truth. No, even heavy gas like SF6, sulfur hexafluoride, that's a man-made gas. You'll never find SF6 gas, the thing that they put in the fish tank to make the little tinfoil boat float on. Do you think the tinfoil boat's still floating on that gas there? No, even heavy gas like that doesn't go down like bouncy balls in a fish tank, no. It still diffuses, expands rapidly and freely in all directions. We don't have puddles of gas on the ground, heavy gas. It hasn't gone down, go boom boom. We don't have puddles of gas that we have to sweep out of the way. We're not breathing that heavy gas. We're not drowning in that heavy gas. No, it's all inhomogeneous. It's all a big mixture. We don't have layers of gas. We don't have the helium right up there and the heavy gases down here. It's all a big mixture. It's all a cycle. It's all dynamic. That's just how our world is. Fog. So Lizzie Baker says, fog is ground level cloud. Clouds vary in elevation massively. Definitely. We drove through, we thought it was smoke the other day. We were up one of these mountains over here and we went down into a valley and we thought we were about to drive through some smoke. So we put the windows up, turned the vents off, expecting to smell smoke, and it was a dark cloud. It was a dark black cloud, something darker than the ones you're seeing here on the ground. So yeah, clouds have different levels. It's all about just finding equilibrium. It's all about relative density disequilibrium. It is relative, so something compared to something else. Density, just the makeup of something. Obviously, things like water is more dense than gas, so it's going to fall down. And disequilibrium, so that gas up there, that water vapor, it's in disequilibrium at the moment. Well, kind of in the clouds, it's finding its equilibrium up there, but when the phase change happens, it condenses, turns back into water droplets, it's back into disequilibrium, and it falls down. Anything that is moving is in disequilibrium. Anything natural, that is moving is in disequilibrium. Jerry Snoke says, are clouds even higher in altitude than the sun or the moon? Well, I don't want to be too harsh on you, Jerry, but what is the sun and the moon? Are they physical things that can have a height? That's the question. We don't claim. The globe definitely has an affirmative claim to this. The globe definitely says that the sun and the moon and stars are physical things that definitely do have a distance. But we as flat earthers can just look at the sun and go, oh, cool, that's nice. It's daytime at the moment, wherever I am. I don't have to assert that the sun is a physical thing with a distance, with a height. I don't have to assert how it works, but the globe believers, they like to explain everything. Even if it's wrong, they just have to have an explanation for it, and that's where the deception comes from. Lizzie Baker says she'd like to see how long the SF-6 would take to escape from that fish tank. Well, it may be a matter of minutes, hours, days, but I guarantee you that boat is not floating on the SF-6 gas in the fish tank at the moment. It's all down to diffusion. Yeah, it's down to the density and the containment of the material, but it is definitely all going to succumb to the effects of entropy. It all diffuses, it all mixes in. It's all a dynamic system. The only way that the SF-6 gas is going to stay in that fish tank, if the fish tank was completely sealed. And this is a point I haven't really made before. We never have a perfect container. There's always going to be diffusion. So diffusion is just gas escaping through the least resistant point. So escaping from whatever is contained in is going to want to escape. We never have a perfect container. Are we a perfect container? Who knows? But we are definitely in a container. We are definitely contained, whether it's a dome or not. It doesn't really matter. Just by having those clouds there. Scopus is asking me a question. I'm assuming you're a Globoscopus. Mitchell, can you please tell me? Hang on, lost it. Please, Mitchell, please, can you tell me, do you see the sun on the north? So if I have my compass out and I look at the sun, yeah, the sun is on the north side of east. If that's what you want to, if that's what you're asking, do I see the sun north? I'm not sure if anyone sees the sun north, magnetic north being the only absolute direction. And I'm definitely going to address magnetic declination. I'm just going through a few things. I'm getting some really good evidence together. Maybe tomorrow I might do a presentation on magnetic declination. Why we have magnetic declination. I'll give you a little preview before I end the live stream. So the only reason why we have magnetic declination, look at this diagram. You know that little tilt that we say that we are given, that the globe has, that little tilt, 23.45 degrees. That's meant to be the axis. Yeah, obviously we're going into the begging question of a sphere and an axis, because those two things don't exist. But the only reason why we have a tilt, or the globe believers are saying we have a tilt, the high priests are telling us we have a tilt, is because of this thing here. On a globe, this is the north magnetic pole and south magnetic pole. If you tilt it that way, they don't like to They're using these celestial bodies. This is where the north geographic pole is, where Polaris is, roundabout Polaris, and the south geographic pole, this is geographic. They're saying it's geographic because they have to assert it's on the ground, but they're looking at the sky. So they're asserting that if you're in the south here, you're looking at Sigma Altatus here in the south, and everything rotates around that point there. And then antipodal to it, you've got something like Polaris, where everything in the north rotates around. They're saying it's a geographic pole, but it's really just looking up at the stars, and they're asserting that the north rotation point is antipodal to the south rotation point. And they're translating that 90 degrees down onto their globe to make an axis. They're saying that's the axis. The things in the sky are proof of an axis. I challenge anyone to find proof of any natural axis. I don't think anything in our natural world has an axis. It does not exist. Nothing orbits, for one. Orbits don't exist. It is only that is a massive begging the question fallacy on steroids. That is orbits. Nothing orbits anything. If you look up the definition of orbits, I don't have it in front of me, but something orbiting around something else, that is not something we can ever observe here in our natural world. An axis is nothing. It's not something we can observe in our natural world. Even Coriolis effect. There is no natural example of the Coriolis effect. We've got a spinning reference frame. You're on a spinning reference frame, and you're looking at something not attached to that spinning reference frame, an inertial reference frame. There is no natural example of Coriolis effect. It is all made up. So for number one, orbits and an axis is absolutely fabricated. There's no examples of it in our natural world. But Coriolis effect, yeah, we can see Coriolis effect, but it's man-made. It is never natural. It is never Earth-based Coriolis effect. Scopus says, thank you for the explanation, but in general, do you see the sun on the north most of the year, according to globers and flat earthers do? Well, it all goes by the compass. The compass is the only true direction. That is the only absolute direction we ever have on our Earth here, magnetic north. And they bastardized it by saying true north is the only real direction, because true north is the geographical pole. That's where true north is. And so that's why we have magnetic declination. To make us think that the compass is lying to us. To put north, where they say true north, isn't that funny? They call it true north, the geographical north, the axis point. Yeah, they try to make that north instead of the only absolute direction we have, magnetic north. And that's why we have magnetic declination. It is all trying to put what we see on the compass back onto a globe, and it doesn't work. And I'm going to expose it for what it is. I've got people telling me that I need to do these observations looking east for the equinox. I need to look at Sigma Altatus and go 90 degrees from that, the southern rotational point, the southern axis, if you will, on their globe. How many presuppositions do you have to make that statement that you have an axis? Begging the question. Haven't proven an axis. All you see is lights in the sky rotating around a point, and you can't even put a pinpoint in the south to where that point is. It's just a big black empty space. You're saying that's an axis? Show me an axis. Show me a natural axis that exists. And then I have to go 90 degrees from that southern axis for real geographic east? No, that's a load of bullshit. Now I'm going to expose it for what it is. I'm going to expose magnetic declination for what it is. I'm going to expose the equinoxes for what they are. I'm going to expose the people pushing this. Wolfie 6020, where's Wally? Yeah, you guys are on notice. Don't worry, It's not me in damage control. I'm preempting this. I've got you guys to bite, and now you're going to be making the videos. You're even contradicting each other. Wolfie6020 says it's not about where the sun rises or sets on the equinox. It's all about the noon or something. Oh, he's contradicting you, where's Wally? Nothing to do with the sunrises and sunsets, but where's Wally says it is. That's the globe rhetoric. So you, once again, who's lying here? You just need to get your story in order. You just need to get one narrative to the equinoxes. You need to get one narrative to this whole geographical north and south. While we have magnetic declination, yeah, because you need your sun rays to be parallel, coming in parallel to Earth, and you assert that sun will rise on the equinox, 23rd September here for us apparently. Sun's going to rise exactly east, 90 degrees, and set exactly west, 270 degrees. And when you look at the compass, you're never going to see that. Never, ever, ever. And I'm going to expose it for what it is. I'm going to go to sunrise. I'm going to measure it with the compass. I'm going to go to sunset. I'm going to measure it with the compass on the equinoxes. And then I'm going to explain why they assert this. Why they assert that we're living on a globe. And this is globe proof. Anything but globe proof. It is a massive bastardization of what we see in the compass. They want to tell us that the compass is lying to us. The only true absolute direction we have, magnetic north, that's a lie, apparently. The only reason why we have magnetic declination is to put the compass to the side, to say that it's lying to us. We need to actually line up. We need to account for what the compass is seeing to the geographic north or the geographic south. And all they are is an axis point in the sky. That's what they're assuming. Massive beggar the question. Arwen says he's been explaining how he thinks it works for 5 years, and he will be explaining it for a whole while longer. I challenge anyone to find a natural axis of something. I challenge anyone to find something naturally orbiting. And naturally is the opposite of synthetic, yeah? Something that's naturally occurring, not man-made, not synthetic, not supernatural. Those two things don't even exist. And Coriolis effect, yeah, we can experience Coriolis effect, not Earth-based. We can go on a roundabout, but it's man-made, yeah? You'll never ever find an example of the Coriolis effect. We are definitely not spinning. We are definitely not on a globe. We're definitely not in space. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Smash the super chat, join Patreon. I really appreciate everyone being here, enjoying these views with me, exposing the globe religion for what it is. It is all faith-based. Yeah, it's tough to get out of the habit of thinking like them, says Owen. It's so tough, but you need to start again. You need to put everything that you think you know in the bin, and you need to start again. You need to listen to things like this Flat Earth School, things like the Flat Earth Debate, things like Arwen's show, the Early Bird Show, Quantum Eraser, Ballbusters. You need to listen to things like this, and you need to just question everything. Everything is not as it seems. Unless you're a flat earther and you're looking into these things, you need to see these truths for what they are. Thanks, Del Ryoko. Okay, I'm going to end the live stream now. If you feel the Earth turns on you, turn to Flat Earth School. It is around us 24/7 since the beginning of existence. The beautiful Flat Earth School that is around us 24/7 since the beginning of existence. I've been Mitchell from Australia. This is the Flat Earth School. Until next time, thank you everyone for joining in. Love to everyone. Stay happy and healthy. See you next time.